No, I think Ethan is pretty well handled by by Hasan and by the 48 other people who've pummeled him into the ground. Yeah, I think that guy's done a number to his reputation. I mean, his show basically like imploded in terms of his numbers. No, I think he's handled. I don't view him as like he's not like a really in my mind. I don't view him as like a big political commentator or political player. He was like a dude who stumbled on politics in a sense, but like I don't know, his credibility's already shot. So I never really thought about it.
The vanguard will be there, sir.
Ethan Klein calling out Kyle Kulinski.
Ethan D. Klein.
Yep. And, you know, this potential beef, we'll see if it actually ignites anything. It's been brewing for a little bit. Zach, I was talking earlier today, I was, reminding us about how, actually, I think the last time Kyle was on our show, he took some serious shots at Ethan Klein. The video that we published of him attacking Ethan or calling out Ethan, that video did numbers. It got a lot of views. So Ethan definitely saw that shit. He definitely is familiar with our commentary. He's definitely familiar with what Kyle said in that video. But obviously, Kyle has his own independent platforms, including Kyle and Corin.
Yeah.
And Ethan got brought up, not as a main subject. They didn't go live to talk about this fucking pathetic, washed up lunatic, this fucking loser. They didn't go live to talk about him. But he did come up. I think they were addressing a super chat, actually, Zach.
Mm-hmm.
And in typical fucking petty fashion, Ethan fired back. How? Via his Instagram story, like a total fucking bitch. Do you have any thoughts on this before we take a look?
Oh, God. Ethan is just grasping at straws here. You know what I mean, everybody? Like, the guy is desperate to stay relevant, and I feel like Kyle knows it. Hasan knows it. And people who basically what happens is like, you guys ever seen Goodfellas? Or you guys ever seen The Sopranos? Actually, this is a really good example of that, or Goodfellas, or any kind of a mob movie, right? But when some guy owns a business, right, and they're like, "Holy shit, this guy's business is going out of business. He keeps borrowing money from us, right? He takes out a loan. He can't pay it back. What is the mob gonna do?" Right? Well, they're going to take the business from him, but what are they going to do first? They're going to make sure that they take all of that business's credit and they run it up as much as they can. They're going to order a bunch of shit that they'll never pay back, and they're going to sell it on the black market for half the price. They're going to just totally raid the thing until there's nothing left to it, right? They're going to pick it for all it's worth until there's no meat left on the bones, and then they're going to set it on fire and try and collect the insurance money, right? Well, Ethan Klein let the Destinies of the world, let the fucking, people of the world or whatever, like, he let them pick him dry, right? He bought the whole, I'm going to do anti-Hasan content. I'm going to go like so hard in the tank where I'm going to just make pro-Zionist anti-Hasan content all the fucking time. I'm going to defend a genocide. And what did they do? They left him with a fucking house that's just, completely empty. He's just bones with no meat left on it. Only thing left to do is torch the thing and collect the insurance money. He doesn't know yet, so he's still trying to pick beefs with everyone. But everybody's like, bro, there's no beef to be had left. You just have to set the whole thing on fire and collect the insurance money. You know what I mean?
Yep. And I don't watch H3 a ton these days, obviously, unless it's relevant to the show. But I do notice a palpable shift in the way people talk about Ethan, like on Reddit, on various social media. Like, I'm talking about normie people, not Vanguard listeners, obviously. But, I was just reading a random Reddit thread the other day, and a bunch of people were bemoaning how weird he's become. And like, oh, yeah, I used to really like watching Ethan Klein. He was really funny. I used to love his show. And then I found out about all this weird shit, and it just kept getting darker and darker, and he kept going more and more off the rails. And it's really fucking weird. So let's take a look at this, because, again, Kyle's comments were just so, innocuous for the most part. It's not like he's trying to start a war here, but Ethan could not resist but to take the bait. Let's watch what Kyle had to say.
Have you ever thought about making a video criticizing Ethan Klein's Hezbollah? I think he's dangerous because he spits pro-Israel propaganda to an apolitical audience while claiming to be pro-Palestine. No, I think Ethan is pretty well handled by Hasan and by the 48 other people who've pummeled him into the ground. Yeah, I think that guy's done a number to his reputation. I mean, his show basically like imploded in terms of his numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like, he used to be one of the biggest YouTubers, and now he just sort of hit a brick wall. Yeah, really? He hit a brick wall. Yeah, he used to be like a prankster type dude, and then he did like a left-wing show with Hasan, and then now he has like this massive hate boner for Hasan, and he shits on him all the time. And he just sort of ruined his own credibility. So no, I think he's handled. I don't view him as like, he's not like a really in my mind, I don't view him as like a big political commentator or political player. He was like a dude who stumbled on politics in a sense, but like, I don't know, his credibility's already shot. So I never really thought about it. Have you ever?
So I think that a lot of what Kyle said is true, right? Like, he is such a shadow of his former self. And when he was at his best, he was just like a prankster. He was just a react-along guy. In fact, when we first started covering H3 on our show, Gavin, I remember I looked at this video from the Sunny V2 YouTube channel, which is this like giant YouTube channel that like chronicles like the rise and fall of people. So they've done like Epic Mealtime. They did the Nikocado avocado back when it looked like he was crashing out. And this was before he got skinny, you know, and it looked like it was really bad for him. He does shit like that on the internet. And 4 years ago, oh shit, here, I got to put up a different one. Sorry, guys, DIY guard. 4 years ago, he put out this video where it was like the disheartening downfall of the H3 Productions. And what he talks about, this came out, again, 4 years ago. So way before October 7th, way before the, you know, left wing had a problem with H3. The mainstream had gotten frustrated with Ethan. So he'd honestly lost his relevance a while ago. And I think part of the way that he devised that he was going to make it back was by collaborating with Hasan. I think that he thought the first big effort that he made to try and reboot H3's relevance was to start doing that show with Hasan, The Leftovers or whatever, because Hasan was this up-and-coming rising star and Ethan was this legacy act. And so Hasan was like, yeah, dude, hell yeah, you seem like a great guy. I love hanging out. You're really funny. I think that would be a great, like, counterbalance to my more serious, like, message-driven political content. Like, let's collaborate. They really seem to be having a good time, but I do think it was Ethan's effort to like be like, oh, I want Hasan's new audience to watch me. And now he has lost that battle so completely. All those people hate him now. He's, you know, degraded and debased all of his credibility. Now he has no option but to continue to try and lash out to people because Hasan was supposed to be his lifeline, and now it ended up being like the fucking, you know, final like death wound.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that it's even worse for him because Israel continues to become less and less popular. It becomes more and more the consensus every day that like Israel is literally committing a fucking genocide. And even though Ethan pretends to be against what they're doing in Gaza, he's like, oh, I'm not a supporter of that. I'm just as concerned as you are about the Palestinians. But then in the next fucking breath, he'll talk about how him and his family are planning a visit to Israel and how Israel is such a beautiful and diverse place. And he can't wait to, you know, talk to his audience about how wonderful it is and all this fucking crap. So it's like, save me the bullshit, bro. We see what's actually going on here. Let's take a look at what Ethan actually said in response to Kyle here. He says, yes, Hasan has dismantled me with poignant takes such as Israelis should move back to Brooklyn and Iraqi Jews should move back to Iraq. Is Kyle also 10 toes down for the Houthis? So automatically just bringing up a bunch of stupid shit. Or maybe he's referring to Noah Samson's call to escalate against propagandists like me in real life. Or Mike from PA suggesting someone make me bleed from the mouth. Okay, so again, he's just bringing up all like the cherry picking the worst possible examples, most of which are just out of context fucking jokes, as he loves to do. And by the way, two could play that fucking game. You want me to start going through every out of context joke about how you enjoy juicy juvenile vagina? Like, that's a real Ethan Klein joke. Am I going to sit here and pretend like it wasn't a joke, though? No, it was. It was a really, you know, poor taste joke that he made.
I can't believe he said that.
He made it a joke about a fucking survivor of the Boston bombing. Yeah, it's horrific. And that's just one of a million videos. That's an early one, to be fair, but you don't have to go back that far. You know what I'm saying? Either way, I could sit here for fucking an hour and play clips of Ethan saying way worse shit than these fucking jokes he's pearl clutching over. But let's continue. Bad empanada lying to get CPS to called on my children, or someone sending human skulls to my house with 3 kids. Again, something that Kyle at no point brought up. It's a lot easier to hand wave any Jewish voice you don't like by calling them Hasbra, which is a special word for Jewish propaganda. Yeah, we know. We're not stupid. No one else gets a special word for propaganda, only Jews, because Jewish propaganda is different and special. Because did he even say one thing that is true? Dude clearly has no clue about me, so why speak so confidently? Is that how he also discusses politics? It's very sad what defending Hasan does to an MF. And again, this was a response to a super chat. Like, I can understand Ethan responding if Kyle straight up put out a video, but this is just some random response to a super chat and a Kyle and Corin, live stream, which is just a fun, hangout he does with his bro. Like, it's crazy to get this worked up about it, to type this much fucking shit, bro. Like, that's a lot of words to type. I don't even like sending a text that's that long. You know what I'm saying? Like, when someone sends you a really long message and you're like, well, shit, now I have to respond with that much vigor myself.
I might just let it go. Might just say, oh, it's like, catch him next time. Oh, hey, brother, I meant to get you on that one. Yo, hey, good to see you, though. Yeah, I know, for real, be easy. For sure. Also, he says beyond that, did he even say one thing that is true? Bro, he said a bunch of shit that's true. Your show is washed. It's a shadow of its former self. Your numbers bear that out. Do you not know that YouTube is brutal for this, but it's true. Everyone's numbers are public, dog. We can see how many views you're getting every single month. Go to Social Blade. Compare H3 now to H3 10 years ago. Fucking H3 5 years ago, 7 years ago, bro. You're not doing the engagement that you used to. You don't have the cultural significance that you used to. Also, he said you're not really a political broadcaster. That's true, dude. You constantly say that all the time. Oh, bro, you use that to get out of trouble a million times. As Gavin just mentioned, you've made a million edgy jokes. So those two things are inarguable. It's 100% true. Also, dude, like the fact that he only engages with an audience via his Instagram stories because nobody can respond to him that he doesn't like. You've already lost. You've already lost. Before you set out, as soon as you went to call out somebody or fire back at somebody, and you did it the most bitch way possible. I'm sorry if that's offensive to say, but it's the only word that really fits that behavior. You know what I mean? It's just, you already lost.
Yeah, 100%. And again, just so pathetic. So pathetic, trying to imply that like Kyle's anti-Semitic or whatever because he responded to a super chat that said Hasbara in it. Like, we can't use that word now. It's anti-Semitic.
It's a special Jewish word.
It's like, bro, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. It's so goddamn annoying. It's so goddamn annoying to see this pearl clutching, this never-ending fucking pettiness. And again, just like, even if you did want to respond to Kyle, why you got to bring up Bad Empanada, Noah Samson, all these other random people, Mike from PA, people that Kyle doesn't know, has not had conversations with. It's not like all these guys are on a live stream together every night shitting on Ethan Klein. Kyle has never talked to most of these people. I have no idea if he consumes their content, but it's not exactly relevant to the situation. Kyle's his own man. You don't have to bring up the fact that someone sent a skull to your house. Big fucking deal, bro. You're a giant, you're a has-been, but you're still a big name. You have a lot of followers.
You have a fucking mansion, dog.
Yeah, some weird shit's going to happen at some point. That's one of the side effects.
I'm not convinced you didn't send that skull to yourself, bro.
It's definitely possible. And if you didn't, I'm not condoning the behavior. I'm not saying, like, go do that. But again, it's not something I'm going to sit here and weep for you over. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I can't believe it, Zach. Can you believe what they're doing to the Kleins? Can you believe this harassment that they have to deal with?
Persecution, Gavin.
It's so fucking stupid.
Look out the door if you hear an ambulance. The Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there. Be there.